Mortgage brokers. Yes, mortgage brokers. If you don't need to get finance to purchase your home, you can skip this step. However, if you do, I know some people are quite happy just to go to their bank that they've been dealing with for the last 10 years and say, hey, I need a home loan. Can you finance one for me? And the bank's they're grateful that you've come in and said that. However, wouldn't it be great if you could, through one person, talk to 20, 30 different banks and get the best response just by shopping around? And so that's what a mortgage broker does, as well as many other things. My advice is that you select a mortgage broker who's been recommended to you by somebody who's had a good experience with them. It's just like any job, you can have good, bad. So you need to make sure that you've had a referral or that you've done a lot of homework. You can easily Google what are the best questions to ask a mortgage broker. My goal here today is to explain why. Why is it important to make sure you've got a good mortgage broker? So if you require finance, your first step should be talking to a mortgage broker, an experienced and creative one. Speaking to a mortgage broker who's only really dealt with one type of client or has not been in the industry very long is not as helpful as one who has access to a broad range of product and who is creative. They've had a lot of different types of clients over the years, not just her first home buyers and not just second home buyers, but people with complicated financial situations. And they've been able to structure their mortgage and speak to their financial advisor and make sure that their financial goals for the next few years are lined up and achievable. So there's more at play than just getting a home loan. Using a mortgage broker offers several advantages that can make the home buying process smoother and more efficient. Access to multiple lenders, I just said that. So time and cost efficiency, they can save you a lot of time comparing the legwork. They can give you personalized service. You know what? Quite often, if you've never had a mortgage before, if you've never had a loan before, you don't really understand the effort that you need to go to set up the situation properly. Sorry. So a mortgage broker will say to you, right, you need to get your ducks in a row before we can go and start looking for a home. And it can be really sad because you think, okay, I'm going to buy a home. I've got a deposit ready. You've used one of those calculators online on real estate or domain, and it says, yep, okay, you're right for finance for this home loan amount, and therefore you can buy a home to this value because you have this much deposit. And it gives you a very rough idea. They're usually inaccurate. Yeah, speak to any mortgage broker and they'll go, there's just so much more to take into account. Do you have a casual job or a permanent part-time or a permanent job? Is there two of you making an income? Is somebody on a full-time income, somebody on a casual income? What's your banking history look like over the last 12 months? What about your job? How long have you been in your job? There's just so much to take into account. And sometimes it's better to listen to the mortgage broker who says, look, let's just sit tight for 3 or 4 months, get these ducks in a row, and then go, and you'll be able to get a better value, a larger home, a better, bigger home that suits your needs better. So speaking to a mortgage broker who can advise you rather than just one who's going to help you buy that house that you found, who's going to take you back and have a look at your history and the way that you make money and the way that you spend money, and so that you can plan for the future. I'm not the best person to ask for guidance about this, so I'm just saying to you this general awareness. Please go and speak to a mortgage broker, and not just an everyday one. Speak to one who is going to be committed to helping you through this. Sometimes you can be with a mortgage broker for a year before you buy a home, and every 3 months you have to get that finance reapproved. It's not like you just meet them once and then go and look for a home. They are actually somebody you keep in your back pocket who's there to assist you and support you and help you plan for the future. So don't underestimate the importance of a really good mortgage broker. And so I think, and they know which government grants you're entitled to and what schemes there are available. If you need help finding a mortgage broker, you can ask me. But I honestly believe that word of mouth is great. If you know somebody who's had a really good experience and who can describe to you something like I just did. So mortgage brokers, there you go. Building and pest inspectors. We'll move and talk about them next.